pulse transformer. Now the main function of pulse transformer is to generate the pulse for the semiconducting devices. That means it provide gate pulse to turn on the semiconducting devices, and it also provide the electrical isolation. So as shown in this figure, pulse transformer is consist of laminated core, which is in shape of toroidal form. It is its shape in toroidal form. So the three windings are wound on this core, and all the windings having same number of turns. Now any one of windings is connected as a primary winding of the transformer, and remaining two windings are the secondary winding of the pulse transformer. Now when the primary current is passing through this primary winding for a very small period, so due to this primary current, the flux induced in this core. Now due to this flux, whatever flux produced by this primary winding, it is linked with secondary winding. So due to this, the pulse of EMF induced in the secondary winding, in the both secondary winding. So now this pulse is used to trigger the SCR. Now here you can see the transformer. Here three winding pulse transformer. One winding acts as a primary winding and another acts as a secondary winding. So here you can see the secondary winding of this transformer, pulse transformer, is connected to the gate and cathode circuit of the SCR, which will turn on the SCR. Now next, expression for IDC and EDC for the controlled rectifier. So already we have seen IDC and EDC for three-phase half-wave full-wave rectifier. But here we can find out, or we can prove, the equation for IDC and EDC for controlled rectifier. Now as shown in this figure, so when the firing angle θ1 is applied to the gate pulse, gate to the SCR, it will turn on and current start to flow from the load circuit. That means IDD. So suppose here we are applying instantaneous voltage. That means E is equal to Em sin theta, and the value of load resistance is RL. So according to Ohm's law, we can write I is equal to small small e upon RL. That means small I and small e, it is nothing but instantaneous value of current and voltage respectively. So just you can we are putting the value of E in this equation is equal to Em sin theta. So here Em sin theta upon RL. Now how to find out the average value of the currents or the IDC? So already I told you, if we find out the average value, so first we have to find out the area covered by the irregular shape, and for this we are using integration. That means the area covered by curve divided by the base. So now the total base is 2 pi, and here the area covered, that means integration theta to pi. Here θ1, that is your lower limit, and pi is upper limit, I d theta. So we can write 1 upon 2 pi under root integration θ1 pi, put I is equal to Em sin theta divided by RL into d theta. So Em and RL are independent to the variation of this theta, it will not affect. So we can take as a common, so Em upon 2 pi RL. So the integration of sin theta is minus cos theta. So that means lower limit is θ1 and pi. Just put the value of theta is equal to pi and theta is equal to θ1. So here we can take minus outside, so minus E is equal to 2 pi RL cos pi minus cos θ1. So minus cos pi, that means minus 1. Here minus cos θ1, because this value is changes. So here equation becomes Em is equal to 2 pi RL 1 plus cos θ1. So this is the value of IDC is equal to EM upon 2 pi RL 1 plus cos theta 1. Now from that we can find out the value of EDC. EDC, it is nothing but IDC into RL. So just put the value of IDC is equal to this. So our equation becomes EM upon 2 pi RL 1 plus cos theta 1 into RL. RL cancel. So the EDC is equal to nothing but EM upon 2 pi in the bracket 1 plus cos theta 1. Now when the firing angle theta 1 is equal to 0, then EDC is maximum. So here we can put 0, that means cos 0 is equal to 1, 1 plus 1 2, 2 cancel, so EM by pi. That means at that time the maximum value of current IDC, so that means EM by pi RL. Now we can take the ratio of IDC and IDC maximum. So just we can put the value of IDC and IDC max into this equation. It becomes 1 plus cos theta 1 divided by 2. So IDC by IDC maximum, we can find out the ratio between IDC and IDC max. Now if full wave rectifier is taken, so if we solve this equation for the full wave circuit, IDC is equal to 2 into EM 2 pi RL 1 plus cos theta 1. It is twice. So that means EM upon pi RL 1 plus cos theta 1. So for the full wave circuit, IDC is equal to EM by pi RL 1 plus cos theta 1. And EDC is equal to EM by pi 1 plus cos theta 1. So IDC by ID maximum is a ratio which is equal to the ratio of half wave circuit.